keep the corrosion down in there. Don't need a bunch, just enough to coat it. Wow. I think that's the problem right there. This mother, where it's supposed to be. We got that started. Okay, torque that baby down. The 04 machine that we've refurbished a little bit for sale, and found a starter problem on it, so we pulled the solenoid off and cleaned that out. Had a little corrosion, a little dirt. Cleaned up the Bendix and seemed to remedy the problem, so we saved ourselves some serious money on that one.
Third day or so. Unstack them or put them on stack? Put them on stack. We haven't done since December 1st. December the 1st. We didn't do anything in December. We plowed twice. That's going to take all the fun out of it. All the different three bonnets. Excuse me.
Neil and Ken, come on, go through the line. You can sit down with some of these guys. And fantastic place.
That's pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah, neat, right?
It's pretty black.
Yeah. I noticed this one looks a little worse than the others.
Mm-hmm.
This one's a little more tricky. It's down further. Yeah, it's on.
So today was pretty productive here at the shop. We had some rain to deal with today, so what we did was we took advantage of the bad weather to do some shop work, and we just had to do a little bit of fine tuning on the grasshoppers to get them ready. We worked on 4 of our 6 grasshoppers, just kind of some general replacement of some parts. We had a chance to go out to JR Equipment the other day, and they were offering a 10% off sale on all their parts. So we picked up a bunch of parts for our hoppers, just kind of the wearable wear and tear items and some general maintenance items, air filters, fuel filters, things of that nature. So we took advantage of the bad weather today, and we went ahead and put those on the machine. So here in another week or 2, fingers crossed, we'll be able to get out there and put the blades to the grass.
Website that we've been using over the last couple of years. It's gddtracker.net. It's growing degrees days. It's a system based out of Michigan State University, and what it does is it gives you several ways of tracking the ground temperatures based on your location, and then you can kind of chart your fertilizing progress. And we've used this for several years now to kind of watch the ground temperatures, especially for this first application that we've just finished up doing for the crabgrass pre-emergent. And what you can see here on this map, the star there is our location here in Central Ohio. And what you have down here below, this is through yesterday, which is when we finished up our fertilization. You can see how it has the kind of the graph that it shows as each day goes on and the ground temperature climbs up. That shows you when you're early in your application, when the optimum time in is, which is with the green section of the bar there. And then once you start getting into that red color, that's when you're going to be too late. That's when your ground temperatures have reached optimum growing temperatures for crabgrass. And if you do not have your fertilizer put down prior to that, you could encounter some problems. And like I say, that's through yesterday, March 14, when we finished ours off, and you can see we're just starting to get into the optimum time to put it down. But I wanted to show you something also. There's a way we can flash back and we can look back at last year at this time to kind of show you the difference with the conditions, showing you what a mild winter we've had compared to last year at this time. You can see the star there in the Central Ohio area, which is where we are right now. And through the March 14th of last year, you could see we were barely into the early stages of the crabgrass pre-emergent germination phase. So coming, last year, 2011, coming off what we would consider a normal winter, cold temperatures, lots of snow, you could see the ground temperature hadn't even really begun to climb yet at March 14th of last year. But then we'll jump back here to current day, which is 2012, and you can see the difference, not only in the state, how there's more green color in it, which indicates that you're getting into the optimum time of fertilizing for your crabgrass, but you can see in the bar chart there, you can see where the star is, you can see how it's in the optimum range, whereas last year at this time it was barely into the early phases. So that's just a website we've been using over the last several years to just kind of make sure we're getting the fertilizer put down at the right time.
I think he's done this before.
dismal winter, it felt great to get the as the guys pull. So like I was saying, it's first day of spring, and it feels really good to be back out on our grasshoppers and getting our first cuts on the athletic fields. And we're just really looking forward to a good long season of cutting. We're about 7 to 10 days ahead of where we were last year at this point, so we're really thankful we're able to get out and do some work. I wanted to show you the Stewcare version of giving a piggyback ride. What we have here, we have our 2005 Grasshopper. It has got about 3,700 hours on it, and unfortunately what happened today, the swing arm pivot mounting bolts, you can see there's 4 of them, they unfortunately broke on us. It's the oldest machine we have now. It's got 3,700 hours on it. Things are going to happen. Unfortunately, it happened down the field. So what we had to do is we had to piggyback, which you can see we basically just set that 05 Grasshopper down onto the deck of one of our others, strapped them together, and then just kind of drove each other, synchronized our driving, and loaded it up. So we're going to take it back to the shop. It's not a big deal. It's just some broken bolts. It doesn't happen very often. I think this is the second time that I can recall this has happened. So it's not a big deal. We're going to take it back to the shop. We'll fix it up. We'll drill those bolts out. Put some fresh new ones in. Bolt the swing arm back on. We'll be good to go. Look at that, Bill. That's coming right out, buddy. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
There it is.
Try them all before you get too carried away there.
That one went in real easy once I got the ratchet on it. Bye, Rick!
Oh, nice. I knew we were going to have to use a breaker bar. And it was here.
Poke that down with the gun, buddy.